All right, everybody, we just finished our session with Jaden. Now we're going to go talk to Leonard, the seasoned vet and personal trainer. So we're just going to use this session as an opportunity to learn from another guy that's been in the industry for a very long time. Hopefully everything goes well, because if it does, he said he wouldn't hesitate to send me over some clients, which would be a blessing. So I'll see you on the inside, and hopefully my battery lasts. It's one of them vibration mats.
So what that does is in-body measures your body fat, and it gives you a printout and breaks it down to like how much water you're holding in your body, body mass index, body max, body fat percentage, and tells whether it recommends whether you should gain muscle, how much muscle gain or lose, or how much fat to lose.
Gotcha.
So it's a lot quicker than just doing, before we used to do the skin caliper or just the handheld one. Obviously, what chair you want, man?
Shoot. We can go one of those.
There you go.
Gotcha.
So, you, oh, that's yours?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was gonna say. How can I help you, my man?
So, honestly, I'm new to the industry, fresh out of college.
Okay.
My main goal at the end of the day, like eventually, maybe someday with this, I'll be able to just not even charge anybody and just kind of help people just based off the idea that I like to help people. Okay. But as for right now, my main clientele, I have maybe like 3 clients, nothing too big. So I got to build up that. I have one client that's an athlete, one client that's a non-athlete but could be an athlete, and then I have one client that's often a no-show. She, we barely even gotten started with her, and our last session was supposed to be maybe last Saturday, and she canceled because she rolled her ankle.
Okay.
And that's not a problem. I understand that, but it's just been a lot of excuses here and there. So I've been I got to learn more about the business aspect of being a personal trainer. I got to learn more about the industry itself. I got to learn more just about, because there's even certain things like with the CSCS that I'm going to end up having to go get, because I'm going to end up pursuing that. So I know a lot of that stuff can be either outdated or just some old stuff, and they're like, you know what, go ahead, just go get your certification, and then now that you're done with your certification, just just throw all that out the window and just kind of find your style of training.
Right.
But I am just kind of trying to learn more about the whole field itself and kind of the business side, kind of how to manage that, even just because I'm open to learn. You know what I'm saying? I understand that I'm not going to be perfect. I may have a degree, I may have experience, but I need more.
Gotcha. I got you. What is your degree in?
Biology.
Biology. Okay. And where'd you go to school? You told me, I forgot.
Randolph-Macon.
Okay. My first bit of advice would be, is to be a personal trainer. I feel like it's very important for you to be personable. Mm-hmm. So never miss the opportunity just to be polite, whether it's just saying hi or just helping, just like small things, mm-hmm. Speaking to everybody, smiling. So that's your first interaction usually. Mm-hmm. Just passing wherever. Are you affiliated with a gym?
Not right now. Actually, I am. I just joined a sports performance team at the lab.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just joined them. But besides that, I'm not affiliated with a gym at the moment because I was waiting to get that certification before I affiliated with a gym.
All right. So when you work out on your own, where do you work out?
Right now, it's at the Y.
At the Y?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So I would, when you're at the lab, when you're at the Y, just always, be personable. Speak, smile. I know sometimes when when you're working out, you don't want to interact too much because somebody might start talking to you, take up your workout time. But you want to be approachable.
Yes, sir.
And so be professional and be aware of how you work out, because I've learned that people will watch you work out, and if they see like, you know, like, oh, this person knows, they can tell if you know what you're doing. And so when somebody comes up to you like, hey, I saw you doing this, you know, why are you doing that? And then that opens the door for, you know, you be able to explain, so that you have that knowledge. And then some, you know, in personal training, when you're not training somebody, well, the first part is getting clients. That's the first part. So you got to push yourself, and you got to put the information out there, whether it be going to the gym and, you know, see if they'll let you personal train. Sometimes, like, a lot of gyms are funny, like, oh, well, if you work at our gym, then we want you to give us a percentage, or you have to be an employee. But it's also good to get your name out there. So if, you know, maybe if you don't want to work there, or they get backed up or something, or some people come in all the time and they want to train, they're like here. People come here and they're always like, are you available? No, I'm not available, but I know someone who is. And, you know, so let the gym know when you're working out, you know, if you have the opportunity and somebody asks you a question, let people know that you are a personal trainer. And then that also start opening. Even if you meet somebody and they don't want a trainer, chances are sooner or later, if they're going to the gym or they're talking to somebody else, your name will come up. I'm like, oh, I just met a guy. His name is El-Amin, and we talked. He seems like a cool guy, you know. So always use that opportunity to be approachable and professional. And then once you get started, in the beginning phase, you know, if you want personal training to be your main source of income, you got to set aside some time to sell yourself. So like, even if things are going good and you got like 5 clients, 10 clients, you're like, you still need to, like, you know, whether advertise yourself by putting out, I know nobody does flyers anymore or posters or anything, but social media is big, man. So use your social media, whether it be like just posting your own workout, or just make a comment like, oh, I had a great day with my client today. Then somebody see that like, oh, I know you was a trainer. Or just seeing it, like, once again, somebody sees it, their friend or a family member said they're thinking about working out. Oh, hey, I just saw where El-Amin was a trainer. So always do that. And then the other thing is, know your style. Like, for me, I'm a sports performance person, but I've been here 15 years, and since Korean is really clinical, it gave me the opportunity to work with people with, it put me in a situation where I had to learn about working with people with knee replacements, hip replacements, and then your regular, you know, just conditioning. Some people balance, some people weight loss. But the more that you get underneath your belt, then, you know, that makes you a better trainer. And so even if, like, you're working with somebody in sports performance and they have some you can't figure something out, but then you work with somebody who has some knee issues, and then you'll learn techniques that help strengthen this person with knee issues and their balance, that click, like, oh snap, I can use this with my athlete who's having issues with change of direction or something, you know. Lots of times you can use one area to help another area, and that experience also helps you grow. Your training style is really important, you know. Like me, from every client that I work with, sports performance, weight loss, knee replacement, I always incorporate my 3 basic movements: push-ups, squats, and pull-ups. Now, with that being said, I don't expect somebody 60 to 70 to get up on a pull-up bar, so we do like a modified form. But we work from those 3 basic movements so we can build good form and structure. And so I always incorporate that in. People see that, and the way I do things, I work from those 3 basic movements, and I use a lot of variety. So my workouts, I give my clients a core workout, but then we also, when they come with me, I always do something different, because I want my clients to be knowledgeable of the equipment, the gym, different exercises, and I always want to keep them learning and trying new things. So once you get your style down and you get comfortable with that, people also see that and they're like, oh, I like the way he does that. And once you get your style and your routine and your method of doing things, and you can convey that to your client, make your client, once you get your style down, you can make your client feel comfortable that they're like, oh, he knows what he's talking about, And one thing I learned starting out was I was one of these people when I started training, I'll come in and people would be like, what are we doing? And I'll say, we're going to do some stationary lunge. And they'll be like, why are we doing this instead of walking lunges? And I was like, because I want you to do it, man. Just do the exercise, But when you have those answers, when you can answer like, oh, I want you to do this for this reason, we're working on this, we're activating the core, we want to stabilize in the knees and hips, then they're like, oh, okay. And then once again, that helps them know like, oh, he knows what he's talking about. He's just not throwing random things out there. And that, having patience and learning how to listen. Please stop me if if you got a question or something, if I'm talking too fast. Have patience, because sometimes, I'm talking about myself starting out, I would see somebody and in my mind like, oh, they should be able to do this. And they're like, physically looking, they may look like they're strong enough to do a certain we start doing it, I would be like, and I think in my earlier years of training, it might even show in my face, like, why can't this person do that? And so sometimes you just gotta set aside what you think this person is doing and just look at the actual numbers, look at the actual form, and build from there, and have no expectations. So if somebody's, if you have somebody, an athlete, and they're not getting their vertical, and you're like, man, you're a little person, man. You white, man. Why can't you make this jump? You gotta also make sure that you show them patience and confidence in them, that if they're having a trouble, that you can have patience with them and assure them that, hey, just stick with the program. Trust me, I'm gonna get you from point A to point B. Let's see. Style, patience, the business aspect, man. This is another thing too. When you're starting out, sometimes you just want clients, so you don't want to make enemies, right? So with your client that you said, like the one that we haven't been able to get in a good schedule. When I started out, I had people like that too. They wouldn't show up, and then I talked to them. Hey, we're supposed to have an appointment. Oh yeah, I forgot, man. Forgive me, man. Or oh hey, I had to work late. I should have called you. Or I overslept, And so I would be like, all right, but then I started realizing, man, this is like 3 or 4 sessions a month, sometimes more, depending on the time of year, whatever. And then when you add it up, like, dang, that could have been a considerable chunk of money I could have used for something, or training somebody else. So it's best that have that conversation. It might feel a little awkward, but have the conversation like, look, I do charge when you don't show up. So I always say your first one is a freebie. I said, so if this is how it works. So if someone calls me up, like I'm supposed to train somebody on Sunday, and they call me, hey, sorry man, I'm not gonna be able to make it tomorrow. I'm cool with it. If it's something like if we started training and then he's like, you need to show up, and you're like, hey man, my fault, man, I overslept. All right, first one, all right, I got you, man. Just make sure you set your alarm, I said, but I have, just after you let them know, like, look, I'll give you, but unfortunately, I'm happy if it happens again. I just have to charge. I just gotta let you know that's just how I do my business. And that makes sure that you're not wasting your time, and then 2, it sets a precedent with your client to let them know, like, hey, you got to make them accountable. So to let them know, like, hey, I can't just blow it off anytime I want just because I don't feel like it. You know, make them at least have the decency or the respect to let you know the day ahead of time or something. You know, and I mean, sometimes staying with you, and there's some cases like something might come up. You know, if somebody says, "Oh, my car broke down," or you know, child. That's up to you know, like you can say, I understand, but that also comes down to getting to know your client and how your rapport that you have with them. It's always best to get the money up front. So set if you can get a client to, you know, if I don't know how you plan on doing it, if you say like, oh, you know, if you buy 5 sessions, you know, I'll give you this discount. If you know, pay up front. If we do it, it's, you know, be cheaper if you pay me up front for 5 or 10 sessions instead of like, oh, just pay me when you get here. Because once again, somebody's easier to say, I'm gonna cancel because they haven't paid you yet. But you know, if they've already paid you the money and then like, yeah, let me take my butt in the house, or you know, you're gonna get the money. So and that's once again, you gotta look out for yourself. And with personal training, if it's your full-time job, you know, if that's your full-time job, you want to make sure that you keep your income at a certain level. So I mean, you know, like if you have it and you know, like, hey, in order for me to comfortably be stress-free and pay my bills, I need 40, 50 clients, however, you know, your price, whatever. And anything over 50, good. Below that, I'm hurting. You know, you got to make sure that you stay because you don't want to put yourself in a situation. With personal training, it's weird, man, because like you can have your client base and then all of a sudden, you know, your schedule's full, you got everybody booked, and then one week somebody's like, hey, I'm not gonna make it this week. I came down with the flu. Somebody, and it just happens like that sometimes. Somebody like, I got the flu. Somebody else call you, hey, I gotta go out of town on business. Somebody else is like, my job changed my schedule, and then before you know it, you're like, what happened? You know, and that's just the business. So you got to be prepared for it. So I always say, like, if 40 is your comfortable number to be happy, if it took 40 sessions for you to be comfortable, then I would say still book 50, 60. You know, try to account for cancellations, no show, bad weather, you know, anything come on, and for yourself, you never know. Like sometimes, make sure you have the relationship with your client that if this goes back to let them know, like, if you cancel, I'm gonna charge a session. It's also good to have that relationship too with that client. If when you get your clients, to make sure that if something comes up for yourself, then you also want to be like, hey, I know we were scheduled for tomorrow. I'm not gonna be able to make it. You got to do the same for your client instead of just be like, oh, what happened to you? I forgot. You know, so you want to make sure that you're just as professional with them as you expect them with you. The other thing I would tell you, man, is make sure that once you get your numbers, take, you know, in your training, make sure that you take care of yourself. And what I mean by that is, when you get into training, sometimes if you're having a bad day or one client just kind of set you off in a bad mood, you got to be able to kind of shake it off sometimes and regroup, because it can affect your next client or your attitude towards training. And and what I mean by that, like, you know, if you're working with a client and that client doesn't want to is not cooperating, complaining about everything. You know, they're saying one thing, but when you try to help them with them, you know, they're not giving you that effort. And so that can be kind of frustrating because you'll find like, for some reason, a client may think like, oh man, El-Amin is the greatest guy, but this might be the most difficult client to work with. But they love you for some reason, you know, like, wow, I got Shirley coming in, I hate working with Shirley. All she does is complain. But people like that will be like, all right, well, my sister's up, I'll buy more. And like, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta be able, all right, do my job, still be professional, and not let how this person make me feel put me in a negative space for my next client. So just, you know, sometimes you might just have to, you train a client, you might just have to get to yourself, shake it off, like, all right, that was rough, you know. You have some clients that you're excited about training. You have some clients that are very difficult to train. And sometimes when you have clients that are difficult to train, it changes your energy, you know. And I'll go back to when I was saying, be careful how you train, you know, always try to be upbeat, motivated, because you'll find that somebody's always watching. So like if somebody's like, oh, I want to get some training for my son in basketball or football, and I've been thinking about El-Amin. He's like, what do you know about him? Not much, but I've been watching with somebody else. I see how he works with this child, or I see how he works with him, and he's really good. I like him. So try to make sure that even if it's not the best session, try to still be professional and positive, motivated. With the CX, would you want to coach on college level, or just you know?
I might get to that point. I honestly just being in the field that I'm going to be in when I'm training athletes, like, cause honestly, like, if I'm thinking like the goal right now, if I can get group sessions of like a group of athletes together and have that as my main source of income, I'll be okay with that. Because that's more of the realm that I want to be around. That's where I want my style. That's kind of my style, like athletes.
Gotcha.
I don't mind having like normal clients or anything like that.
Okay.
That's definitely the direction I want to get to. So having that, not even just, I get it, like these certifications can kind of just be like a sticker.
Right.
It's like proof that you know what you're talking about. But I know that there's, of course I have my degree in biology, but I know that there's areas that I need to improve in, especially when it comes to working out. Because I can't sit here and be like, I know everything.
Right.
Because I know that's not true. But that doesn't mean, but me having my degree in biology has also taught me how to go look for those answers. So it doesn't like necessarily not qualify me to be the trainer, you know what I'm saying? Right. But in terms of just like the field that I'm gonna be in, that's probably the most respected certification for that field. So it's just something I want to get towards. If that's something I don't need, because I know like just like a personal trainer certification may be an easier option to get. Right. But I know specifically for what I want to do, it may not be the route I should go.
It's really crazy too. Like the CSCS is good for, it's really good for like if you want to go college, or you want to be on a like more more high-end clientele. You can do it without it, because a lot of it too is who you know.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, like with personal training, because I know people who train sports performance or personal trainers, and they don't even have their certification.
Yeah.
But you know they read, you watch videos, watch videos, or they play sports before, and they're just good at sharing and getting results. Yeah. So, I'll say like most definitely, you know, if that's, I would not tell you not to get it because it's only going to help you. But for instance, my son Micah, he ran track at George Mason. He didn't finish, but because he was he is a great hurler, an amazing sprinter. He was the whatever conference he was, the indoor and outdoor champion, and so because he has that, and with just that little bit of experience, because he does speed training with kids, and but I always tell them too, like, yeah, you have some of the experience and you have the talent, but it always helps to add more into it. So you have the education, and you play football.
Yes, sir.
You have the education. You play football, so that's only going to help you. All you have to do is just come up with your style and make people feel comfortable with it. Yeah. That's it. So if you have the opportunity to when somebody, even if you hear somebody, a friend, or you hear somebody talking and like, my son, he's playing football, but he's getting pushed around on the line. Don't be afraid to say, like, excuse me, I can help you, or can I, what's the problem, and always look for those opportunities, because even if it's not that person, your name gets out there, somebody else might talk to that person, and then, so you always want to take advantage every time opportunity you get. Even if you're busy, and you're gonna find, like, sometimes when you're training people, when you're watching, sometimes people will just come up, like, hey, excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but are you a trainer, or what's your experience? Let them know, and just give them that information. Well, let me give you my number. I'll get back to you, whatever. Use those opportunities, man, and I'm hoping. Am I giving you some? Am I giving what you're looking for?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna backtrack just a little bit. So I don't know if we had said it on the phone when I first started. My plan was, I wanted to do it on my own. But then when I started, that I was like, well, I'm gonna have to either find a gym that I'm gonna have to rent a space, or have to get my own space, and then build up my equipment and everything. So for me, this was a blessing, because when I came here, I was fortunate. I came here 15 years ago, maybe 16. They only had 3 trainers. And when I came in, they was like, oh, this guy left. Here's some of his clients that he left. So that gave me like a jump start. Not enough for full time, but I think I might have started with maybe 5 or 6 people that when I came in, it was like, here, these people was with this guy, Sean. And so that helped. And then I'm a track athlete, so that's I also have a track team, and so I work with speed and conditioning. But before that, we used to have I don't know. Did you grow up? You said Bird? Is that what you went?
Yes, sir.
So I don't know if you remember. There used to be Parisi Speed School. Do you remember that? It used to be in the next 2 buildings over. It was a separate building, but the gym owned it. So they were short on performance coaches, so they were paying me to train to learn the Parisi way, which was great, because that helped me with my track background, and helped me work with my speed and conditioning. So after that had closed, that gave me the opportunity, from that building closing, working there, I got the experience, but it also put my name out there, as people like, oh, well, are you still doing the speed and conditioning? Which it helped even more. So if you're at the lab, so that's a great way for you to, work on your skills, your training techniques, get some experience, and also, I don't know how. Well, you're gonna find it. Lots of times, people when they go to places like that, lots of times people will be like, "Hey, is there any way we could train outside of here?" Because where they just want to work with you.
Yeah.
So, that is, I'm not telling you, to steal from the lab, but sometimes the opportunity comes up and you can get a client for your own to train on your own. So I'll use that also. Oh man, always research, man. Always research. So, I pride myself on, always. I like social media because somebody's always posting different workouts and different techniques. I like that. Read up on new things. If you have an opportunity to go to like a fitness convention or anything like that, those are always good because you can get some great advice, new training techniques. And the way people are today, they like to be trained in ways that they haven't seen. So like if you start doing something and you're like, what does that do?
Yeah, like
and you're like, oh, this exercise here, oh, this will help you get faster, this will help you get strong. Like, okay, all right, that makes them also feel good. Like, oh, he just showed me something nobody else knows. I mean, even though like if you saw it on social media, but there's a first time this person seen it or people in this area, and so that's actually another way that I get clients for myself, because I'm always researching, and I come in and I'll try it, and
they'll see you doing it.
Listen, they're like, Leonard, what's that right there? Yeah. I've never seen that before. I'm like, and I'm honest. I'm like, hey man, I'm always looking, and but it gives me an opportunity to demonstrate and open the door for conversation. So, and like people want to. I always recommend like take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, and you'll see in this business too. You don't have to be in a tip-top shape to be a good trainer. My best football coach never played football in his life, and this dude was like 300. Like, I'm not lying, man. He was like 350 pounds, maybe bigger, like this, but he knew how to coach.
Yeah. And
you meet people like that too. So, but it helps. It helps, like if you take care of yourself and you look what you're trying to coach or what you're trying to teach.
Yes, sir.
It's not a necessity, but it helps.
Yes, sir.
That's it, man. I think that's all I have, man. Any questions for me?
Not really. That answered a lot. That definitely helped a lot. Yeah, because now I'm just like, I feel like for me, I gotta look. It's gonna take time.
Right.
Obviously,
right.
I gotta build up, and I gotta start just reaching out to people. Because I need, at least if I want to get the group thing started, I have to reach out and be like, you know what? Because I play football around this area. Of course, I have guys that looked up to me. They're younger than me. They're about to graduate. Like, you know what? I'm about to do something like next Saturday. I'm going to get a couple guys together. And they said at the lab, they said, you know what? Like, if we're closed on the weekends and you want to have sessions in there, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hopefully be able to use that, get a couple guys, free, record it a little bit, show everybody, get a couple more guys, start charging a little bit, okay. And then I want that to kind of be something on its own too.
Right.
But it's just getting there, I'm still learning. I still got to get like a book, like the exercise science books to kind of learn a little bit more. I've started, since I've graduated, this is the first time that I've actually been reading to actually enjoy reading.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm reading a book about personal training, so it's that much better. You know what I'm saying? So it's just trying to get better. I'm trying to get better with this as well, taking my time. Because at the end of the day, like, I could get this to do something to make more income than I can training.
Right.
At some point. But this is about getting it there.
Well, I have another trainer friend of mine. She's always like, she's a lot better than me because her social media presence is like every workout. Like if we train together, the first thing she always says, "Hold on, man."
Yeah, love you.
And I'm just like, I'm the type. Even though like I like to promote myself, I'm not the social media savvy, So I'm just like,
it feel awkward.
I'm not gonna set it up. So yeah, if you get that going, it can help, man. And we've even discussed doing podcasts. And that's helped a lot of trainers out. I have a cousin up in Harrisonburg. He started doing online training, and which I'm trying to learn more from him.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn that too, but I feel like I gotta get my foot in the door before I can,
But it's he said right now 40% of his business is online training, and so I was like, that's pretty good. So yeah, I don't know if I told you, I was full-time here before COVID, and then when COVID hit, Carillion had a lot of, gotta take home.